But let me do something. I'm going to take you back to 2020 before I come to 2025. In 2020, a member of the NPP sat on national television and said he's going to ban who? A former president who is now the president, John Dramani Mahama. This is a card-bearer member. Let's take care of business. And Debiana Ghana Fobusa, it's exactly 9:12. Ewo Ghana, about a year 5:12. Ewo a year US East Coast. Adikudienti ande yɛpɛsɛ nyabutre na yɛma Ghana for tinyo maybe ase. Politics one thing. And about using people to do damage in politics another thing. Sebio ye nyini as enkwara makacha Ghana for me aka akrebi no medi 50 to me nya akwara. Memo bi antena TV so na radio so nka say boy no say young man no me aka akrebi no medi 50 years. Yeah. When I'm speaking from experience. Aka akrebi no medi 50 years. Kakrebi na me di 50 years. Enti me ho na efe me nya akwara asa. Tete no na nyoma bi wo hɔ a sebio ye nyina nim se ekoso. Enso na yenka ho asem. Now ende akodum pempenso bi ma ye nyina be hu se there are some people among us omo amadwene se omo pese omo di ewu. Na ewu die na no mu di sie no kura na ende they want that to be in the known. They want to publicize it. They want the world to know, say, they support what crime is. Now, the NPP as a political party, no, young people are going to be brave and should name what the NPP represents. And international people like us, we are not historians, but the little we have observed, any age, any kakra ye nimuno. Who political parties about echo, and from the time Ghana started say we were getting involved in politics. Yebabe tuaba, yebe you be mani the party dim, yebe you way so a politician no. And when you who said the NPP as a political party no, a killing machine. Now NPP, they have been murdering, they have been killing, but they have been doing it in a way where majority of the time no. Won't mean connecting directly to them, but everybody knows the elephant in the room. From time Ghana started to say yeah politics. From Nkrumah time, we know the people who basically gave Nkrumah one of the toughest times in his life as a young man and also as a politician. And nina ye MPP for Kwame Nkrumah ni almost started along the way. Ohun se JB dan kwamo ene omomaka no adwene bone edom trim te se buzia mo no ote ne ho a they decided say they will have to bring this country down, murder Nkrumah no matter how they will do it. Their agenda was to make sure say Ghana is going to go this way. Majority of Ghanaians will support her. They will find direct and indirect means to kill Nkrumah. Remember, Kwame Nkrumah is not just an ordinary person. Nyansa innovation that Kwame Nkrumah trim no 99% of MPP will be no trim. Enti for people to sit and say we want to take care of this man Kwame Nkrumah, yaman the presidency in Koso yebekuno, and they tried on countless occasions. We all know the history of NPP and how the people who formed the NPP are free Titana EBPA, NLM EBPA, UP EBPA, and the MPP no we know. The Oma Koma Bedruha, Nina and the history share say JB Dankwa na oye snitch, na oye Jumama brofo, okoda jail or buy no oko Ghana a US embassy or Ghana so begin pay. If you say na oye Juma, Obia na oye political party flag bearer no, not still or Sadia Jumama brofo at the Ghana for ensem Emma brofo, Emma Odia brofo ni momukunipa. We know their history. Now, the NPP as a political party over the years, Omaya Sadia na che. Now, a do point to be we need to let the young people know the sin there. It is not just to say it's happening because it's for fun. It is happening because that is what the NPP represents. The NPP represents what we call disunity They represent murder. They represent people, and as a group, you're from outcast. Debiano. If you don't agree with them, they find means to eliminate you. They find means to destroy you. They find means to destroy a nation. And that is what the NPP as a political party are representing doing there. But now, no, they are making it clear. And every time the NPP is in opposition, they become a murdering machine. Because that is the only response they have to be able to take power. And to study from Kwame Nkrumah time. So, and they all can Ghana ACC. Thank you, team. Ucheki ACC or Ghana. You can see, say, majority of coups ACC or Ghana, no, the NPP benefited more from all the coups ACC or Ghana. The only coup NPP for and benefited when JJ Rawlings stepped in from 79. And this I will check the history of Ghana. Say NPP for Ghana history, especially coups ACC or Ghana, Sebio, na Ghana, so Jaban Bediswa. They always wanted to be like NDC, JJ Rawlings 79, JJ Rawlings 81. Omon pese, omoba magana for who say, Kus BCC ya, Buziamo, JB Dankwamo, any Oslo Usu Papamone, Mickey Mouse Papamono, Omona no mo shasye. There were about 5 kusa, Kotokamone, a free famone, Kwasiaphobia, yeah. They were all orchestrated by the NPP. But you see, that is who they are. They are very good at lying, and they are very good at distracting the system for you not to think, say, Oma committed a crime. History is repeating. And you, the young people watching us, the NPP, they will never move away from their root. And their root is to kill, is to destroy. And history is repeating itself. Now, Ghana 40 BBS NPP way a muhunindano. The same as MPP na JB Dankwamo di enim. The same as the MPP na omo ye coup. Indirectly, na omo peso omo coup Nkrumah. We all know say Nkrumah ebedi president a ote no ho efri eye JB Dankwamo ho a obeti CPP a obe winning elections ebe president no. Nkrumah be president no 7 times and MPP for no peso omo coup Kwame Nkrumah 7 times. They tried to assassinate Nkrumah, almost tried 7 times. And all these assassination attempts were orchestrated by the NPP. We do now, no matter say, history is repeating itself. Now we are Ghanaian, be very careful about the NPP. Now, so we'll check the history of Ghana. Let's start from the back. So we'll study. In fact, let's start from this part, which is easy. In 1958, history not the lie. It did there. Make sure history are repeating. Why a Kwame Nkrumah time or find it difficult. How an MPP for person kuno. The same way a MPP person kujo Mahama. And the Edao Mano. Today, when they get every opportunity, they are not shy. First, normally see, right now they are making it clear because some of them say it will take 42 years before they come to power. Makachro, every time they are in opposition, they are more lethal, they are more deadly, they are more daring. The only option to them, and not for them, when they are in opposition, is to assassinate people to take power. In 1958, just a year after independence, whispers of dissent were already growing. One evening in Accra, Nkrumah's convoy was ambushed by unknown gunmen. A shot rang out, missing him narrowly. This incident was hushed with no official statement, but it marked the beginning of a dangerous pattern. Power had enemies, and they were watching. In 1958, right after independence celebration, Kwame Nkrumah enam kwansu kofie. They tried to assassinate Nkrumah. Omo botuo. Ema intuo no anya Kwame Nkrumah. And Nkrumah said no problem. Mo sa anyoma we e de ehu ba wetu kuro nim. Onim say yenkofo don peso mu kuno. But Nkrumah ka se ma mo yenye hu dede because onim be free ba. Onim ne nkofo. Onim say san nkofo we they want to eliminate him. They want to kill him. This was 1958, the silent shot. Independence, just a year after independence. Enyumre na Kwame Nkrumah na the car, the convoy ekofie, omo ambushi no, omo cross cars no, and omo potu. Kwame Nkrumah etuo no anka no. This is 1958. Remember, your independence in 1957. Into almost started some Nkrumah right after Nkrumah declaring independence. Remember, before Nkrumah declared independence, and I see independence, no time Nkrumah Chokoma Queen said Ghana is ripe to be its own country, and that we need our independence. No, Sanko for we are extra letter Koma Queen, England. Ekachre a Queen is say Omon Pene na Omon se a ekroni bi free Ghana home. These are the same people there from UP4 NLM. Let an omutre no omu free mensia and omu de call a Queen ho. Say yanti a ekroni bi mfa momo. Na de Nkrumah be dis no yenya Ghana for no de omonti omo. These are facts. This is history. And remember, Nkrumah be di president no na nya obia na ye ne de. Na nya obia na ye ne de. Say obe de Nkrumah be di president Ghana ebefa ne ntuma pay fra. In 1958, that was the first time they tried to assassinate Kwame Nkrumah. Now, and so they decided to move forward a little bit. Now, July 1962, NFL Kumasi Congress chaos. Bibi ko si wa santimemu. 1962. Now, during a CPP party congress in Kumasi, Nkrumah stood before a crowd of loyalists and skeptics alike. As he addressed the nation's future, gunmen attempted to fire from the crowd. Security intervened just in time. The attempt was buried in official silence, but insiders knew the opposition was no longer just political, it was personal. Kwame Nkrumah in 1962, Oko Kumasi, July, na CPP for your campaign, omo ya rally, and Nkrumah ko kasaye. Ojina stage suno, omo ano omo from adofo, and the Ghana for mobile so mubetie Kwame Nkrumah no sem no. Na MPP for omo call for ni bi wom. Omo tutuo. Kwame Nkrumah security etimi make sure say sa etuo no anka Nkrumah. And then the friend no Kumasi Congress chaos. Kumasi na nkombe so mu ku Kwame Nkrumah Kumasi. All this time the NPP wanted power. And they were doing it through other means. They never came out openly to say yeah. But we all know the history showed us say because yen nimu krampo no buzia okotena Togo na ochrochro nsemba Ghana efuele nkofo bi so munku Nkrumah na JB Dankwa omankasa JB Dankwa founder no ono so ne anim so oye adwuma ema edien CIA na omoton Ghana ehon nsem ema abrofo say ekuro no odi dwuma etia Ghana kuro no. Where MPP no, I'm bringing you from the back. You don't need a PhD, a doctorate to understand this. We're a basic. History has repeated itself, but ended the onyanko point the one for fee. And until I made time free x-ray, na me dia babedru nim, na what the EBC and then I say, and the AC and then I say. This is the NPP. Now, Uba Wenima in 1962 now, the same year 1962, August, Omo try some Nkrumah ewo Kumasi July. Omo ba August and they tried one. And your friend the Kulungugu bombing. Mokaya no. A sirem omo ya some ko bomb the Kwame Nkrumah kuno. Omo sa atwa Nkrumah was sirem. All along, the NPP were behind us. Because they didn't like the idea, say, Nkrumah aje independence, ama Ghana, wabe the president. Inti almost had to Nkrumah with Srim. What happened there? Team, stay with me. In the dusty town of Kulungugu, Nkrumah was greeted by school children bearing flowers. One bouquet concealed a bomb. As he bent to receive it, the device exploded, injuring him and killing others nearby. The nation was stunned. Trials followed, but the truth remained murky. Trust within his inner circle was shattered. Kwame Nkrumah ko srem. ena osi free plane mu no osi free se omoba beje no awa wetu no ena NPP for nanado dankweku for do ne nananom MPP we ya no omo founders e di bomb e she flowers im say akwara bi fan koma Nkrumah say Kwame Nkrumah we de wa basirem akwara no kurampo no sa maame na nsia na owu yesi na ne papa e ya aban adwuma e ne ya transfer omo de omo ko sirem e na omo gi obi ba na omo de flowers she ni sem say fa koma Nkrumah Kwame Nkrumah sin mu ebu ni mu say oje flowers na kasa akwara de ho of e na suye edidim tata jebi dan kwa twen na buzi atwen na omudombo nkofo nyina atwen say Kulungugu de e was Kwame Nkrumah wu. This is the Kulungugu bombing in pictures. We are Ametewee.
High in the upper regions of our land, through northern mists, another day breaks. But to Ghana, this morning is set apart from other mornings. This is Kulungugu Day. Led by the regional commissioners for the northern and upper regions, Mr. Bawumia and Mr. Asumda, thousands of Ghanaians in cars, buses, lorries, bicycles, and on foot set out from Baku on the road to the tiny village of Kulungugu, scene a year ago of the outrageous bomb incident against Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the peace-loving people of his land. To mark Osagyefo's fateful escape from the hands of his assassins and the tragic loss of many innocent lives in other bomb incidents, it was decided that Kulungugu Day be observed every year as a day when the forces of neo-colonialism were defeated by providence and justice, and a day of triumph for Osagyefo, his socialist pattern of life, and our stand for African unity. The village itself has become a political mecca, and to the spot come this impressive procession of thankful thousands. Chanting and singing party songs, the commissioners lead their followers to the actual scene of the first outrage. Gathered round the exact spot where the bomb exploded, libation is poured by the Atuga of Kusasi, and prayers of peace are offered at the site which once knew death and destruction. To a hushed audience, Mr. Bawumia spoke about the innocent victims who laid down their lives on this spot, and that a fitting monument will be erected in their honor. One who accompanied Osagyefo on that fateful morning was Mr. Asumda, who referred back to the events which led to the bomb attack. Osagyefo had come to Kulungugu, where he was met by President Yamiogo of the Upper Volta. Together, the two statesmen traveled to Tenkodogo, where their historic meeting took place. It was on his return journey home that the attempt on the president's life was made. Miraculously, Osagyefo escaped injury, but 70 villagers did not. On his triumphant return to Accra, Osagyefo was greeted by one of the biggest crowds ever seen in the capital. Thousands upon thousands of men, women, and children came to give thanks for his safe deliverance. But even amidst the jubilation, traitors were plotting. However, justice conquers evil, and in time those who sought to spread destruction and fear in the land were themselves sought out and brought to justice. And so it is that today, when peace, progress, and prosperity fill the land, that Kulungugu is remembered. Gone is the fear, and in its place comes happiness. from the village to the city of Accra. And at the Young Pioneer Center, a grand dance is organized to round up the day's activities. While the red spots play the music, the dancers provide the highlight. Big attraction at this dance is the crowning of Miss Kulungugu, and the first beauty to win this coveted title is Miss Salome Ajetiajin. And so a year passes, and the first Kulungugu anniversary is observed by Ghanaians everywhere, a day that symbolizes the joy of our people over a dark phase in our new history.
So what you watch there, how they tried to assassinate Kwame Nkrumah. But no matter Kwame Nkrumah inner circle na Mahamudu Bawumia papa account. Do not forget. Assassination muno. Kwame Nkrumah assassination muna na o evade assassination yinano. Kwame Nkrumah CPP inner circle na no take a decision. Nkrumah befaha. Nkrumah be wuraha ahana Nkrumah betena obeje flower ha no na Mahamudu Bawumia papa ye frɛ no eye Mumuni Bawumia Alhaji ne papa na Kwame Nkrumah inner circle nim. And remember Mahamudu Bawumia ne papa ye CPP ni onya UP ni onya MPP ni na ne papa ye CPP ni na Kwame Nkrumah inner circle security detailing no na ne papa nim hu bi. Mahamudu Bawumia papa na meka o enya Mahamudu Bawumia we ye baba ono so na asem so. Enti you are learning history. Okoto ankasa ye friend Okoto onwanoma. And the history is playing out today. And it's not just individuals so the ideology of a group of people are about together to form a political party called the NPP. And when I'm a person, look at the NPP. Look at the ideology. Look at what they can do from within. And it's a just say their inner monkey is dangerous. The inner monkey of the party called NPP free UP Mubaya, they are very dangerous people. Inti Mahamudu Bawumia, na Kwame Nkrumah, the people he trusts. 7 times I need a person Mahamudu Bawumia papa was with Kwame Nkrumah as a CPP loyalist, senior member of Nkrumah's government. But for some reason, there were people still penetrating. Nkrumah's security was still being breached. Into what Busa say, there's some people around Nkrumah were they the ones working with Buziamo and JB Dankwamo to eliminate Kwame Nkrumah. Now, it's a question everybody we need to think about. The inner monkey in the NPP is dangerous. We are building a story. You should not be surprised because history is repeating itself. Let's move forward. Right now, Kwame Nkrumah, Mahamudu Bawumia papa, ni Juma ankasa odiye, no ye CPP ni. Bawumia papa no ye CPP ni no ne Kwame Nkrumah ne nam. Ye pe Kwame Nkrumah ku ni nyina de bia Kwame Nkrumah security, ye tumi breach ni nyina na Mahamudu Bawumia papa or ye Nkrumah inner circle member. Think about it. Now, about 9th September 1962, the same year, Omoko Kulungugu and went to Nkrumah, the same year, from August, the following month, September 9th, they took another action. And then your friend, the Flagstaff House explosion. Omode, a wone to Nkrumah, our Flagstaff House wakra. Still, Mahamudu Bawumia papa, na oka Nkrumah inside trusted people, no. Mahamudu Bawumia we, ne papa. And you saw him in the video. Now, already 9 September, they see a year Flagstaff House. They followed Nkrumah to Accra. They wanted to come kill him. They didn't want Nkrumah to cross 1962 cry. They wanted to finish him. And say, Abobi Bekawa, every single day they were able to breach Nkrumah's security. Nyankopon di Nkrumah ho afofi. Emma Nkrumah, for some reason, he was able to escape the death. But the same people he trusted, including Mahmoud Bawumia Papa, they were in his inner circle. And this is an advice to John Mahama. John Mahama should be very careful. But we are moving forward. It took us September 9, 1962. This is what happened. Team, stay with me. Just weeks after Kulungugu, a second bomb exploded at Flagstaff House during a celebration. A child died and several were injured. Nkrumah, though shaken, survived again. The Kumasi Command, a militant anti-Nkrumah group, was blamed. Mass arrests followed. The president's paranoia deepened, and Ghana's political climate grew darker. Almost Nkrumah fi Kulungugu ba na almost afutuo Nkrumah. Our Flagstaff House na omo ye djuma dibo na bomb sa suye edidim. Nyankopon di Nkrumah afofie Kwame Nkrumah ewu. Akwara kete young girl Tim omo ku ono so. Remember omo koto bomb Kulungugu no nipa 70 na wu ye one time. Omo asa bankran asa afutuo Nkrumah e wo Jubilee Flagstaff House. Omo asa beto bomb. Omo investigations no na group bi wo asantimemu ye from the Kumasi Command. They did not like Nkrumah. Omo so omo chiri Nkrumah. Government in your investigations who said those were the people who were behind the Flagstaff House bombing. The UP are dangerous. The NPP, their inner monkey, is dangerous. Remember, don't forget, the same time na Mahamudu Bawumia Papa Eka Nkrumah inside trusted people who still Nkrumah still did not see. They were still breaching Kwame Nkrumah's security. They were still breaching it every single time. But Onyankopon, for some reason, was telling Nkrumah, look within. John Dramani Mahama, look within. God has been telling John Mahama, look within. Look within. Do not underestimate anybody around you. Look within. Because now Kwame Nkrumah Papa, Kwame Nkrumah oni Bawumia Papa ne nam. Oni Bawumia Papa ne boko suata free. Bawumia Papa na ope Kwame Nkrumah position ni bi. Kwame Nkrumah na oji Bawumia Papa di. Every single time Kwame Nkrumah's security was breached, still Bawumia's father was in the circle of Kwame Nkrumah as a CPP loyalist and a senior member. Now, let's move forward. History. Now, you see this. January 1964. It's from 62, no? I'm trying to a year and a half from say bye. 1964. The Ametewee shooting. The Ametewee shooting. I'm going to another shooting. Obianya din gidi bianim ye dwudwam. In Dwudwam ne obi abete ne ho ase. Maka just say MPP no be a dangerous political party, but history ntine ye side way. We will get to the bottom of this. Inside Flagstaff House, Nkrumah walked the halls with his trusted bodyguard. Suddenly, remember, his security is always breached. It's from within. Remember, Mahmoud Bawumia Papa, he was inside Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's security setup and people he trusted. Now, or your CPP ni mapa. Inti Bawumia na say a CPP. On your MPP ni. But now papa the connections a Buzia JB Dankwa. Because he felt to say those were the people he can indirectly, silently, in the dark align with. Now, inside Flagstaff House, Nkrumah walked the halls with his trusted bodyguard. Suddenly, Constable Ametewee drew his weapon and fired. One bullet grazed Nkrumah's shoulder. Another killed his bodyguard. Ametewee was subdued and arrested. This was the closest call yet, and it happened within the walls of his own sanctuary. Nkrumah's trust in his security apparatus was shattered. Kwame Nkrumah sorry as the president, he said John Mahama, enam eye Flagstaff House. Otum pasa, ne bodyguard kan ho no mudi nkomo. Oh, Bibia Boko, oh, Mr. President, wall with you see a penty. Usha, buy no sad doorway, they be out taking, and normal. Kwame Nkrumah, no bad ideas. Flagstaff House. On any bodyguard, in a man who say, another person who is a security officer, Flagstaff House, actually told a panyain of fire the bodyguard Nikuno. On a true Kwame Nkrumah and a cheap Kwame Nkrumah shoulder. Now who read the details of the story? Who read the details? Let me show you the details a little bit. You see, Yankasa. In fact, let me run you through what actually happened. When you read the story, Kwame Nkrumah bodyguard na dahono, omu body to Flagstaff House. The inner circle. JM, be careful. The inner circle. And remember, Sansa when you to Kwame Nkrumah, Mahamudu Bawumia Papa, a part of Kwame Nkrumah inner circle, people he trusts. The security now or catch realm. Now, when you read that story into detail, it is wrenching, it hurts, it pierces your heart. They have taken the assassination inside the president's residence. They took it from outside and they entered the Flagstaff House. Now they want to kill him there because they just can't stand Nkrumah being the president of Ghana. The same way these people cannot stand John Mahama being the president of the Republic of Ghana. It is already story now. I can go through with you a little bit. The loyal security guard took a bullet for Nkrumah in an attempted assassination in 1964. Now read this story now. It's quite disheartening. This is the story. Let's go through it a little bit. When you read the story, this is what it says. That was the 5th time Ghana's first president, Kwame Nkrumah, was escaping an assassination attempt on his life, thanks to his security guard. This loyal security guard took a bullet for Nkrumah in an attempted assassination in 1964. Throughout his presidency, Nkrumah had close encounters with death for at least 7 times, following what analysts said were his unpopular policies. When he was not being shot at, he was being bombed. He was bombed at home, in his office, and while addressing political rallies. He escaped them all, but scores were injured as a result, and others were killed. Now, when you follow the story, team, stay with me. So read this story now. Moreover, Salifu Dagati, Nkrumah's security guard, who shielded him from a 5th plan to kill him, would also die in the process. This failed assassination attempt happened on January 2nd, 1964 at about 1:15 p.m. as Nkrumah left his office at the Flagstaff House to the Christianburg Castle for lunch. Before even the one that happened at Flagstaff House now, Omukokuni close bodyguard, they had also killed one of Nkrumah's security guards. He was leaving the Flagstaff House to go to a Christianburg Castle to go have lunch. They followed him. Nkrumah never had peace. And remember, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's father was still CPP member, a senior official of Nkrumah's circle, and a senior member of the CPP. Don't forget that. Now, also, Nkrumah was walking towards his car outside his office with 2 security guards, Dagati, who was a British-trained professional police officer, and the other who was provided by the president's own party, Convention's People's Party. Now, young Queen, When you read the last part of the story, it hurts. Suddenly, a shot rang out. It came from a policeman on guard at the Flagstaff house who had just been transferred to duty there. Nkrumah namho keke. Na police ni adenaba Flagstaff house on the guard Nkrumah no atutuo Nkrumah. This was all done by the UP. NPP4, they never wanted Nkrumah to be president of the Republic of Ghana. They even infiltrated the security of Nkrumah. Who was the one helping them? It was the Nkrumah inner circle. They know Nkrumah's movement. They know how to get close to Nkrumah. They know their friend who trusted them. And remember, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's father was inside the circle of Kwame Nkrumah as a senior official of the CPP. Now, he would later be identified as Constable Ametewee, or no, and the tutuo no. Now, from a close range, Ametewee had shot at the president. The driver of the president's car immediately disappeared. The CPP security guard hid behind the car while the president and Salifu dived for cover, according to a report. Now, we'll read the last part of the story. I'll say, more so, it added that when Salifu rose to his feet to find out what was happening, he was instantly shot through the head. Your boss Salifu trimu to Kwame Nkrumah's guard. Your body trimu to panyai. All this happening. Why? Because in Nkrumah, some group of people from the UP, from the NPP roots, never wanted Nkrumah to be president. They were in opposition. They needed power. History is repeating itself. And I'll tell you why history is repeating itself. When you go to the last paragraph, it says this. Other accounts said that Salifu shouldered Nkrumah from the multiple shots with his body, leading to his death. Your body timu to Nkrumah no da hukuta Nkrumah na o protecting Nkrumah. Ya bo Salifu tuo, ya body timu tuo, ya body chituo. Na Salifu in the body shelled Nkrumah. Salifu was still protecting Nkrumah. Nkrumah never dies. And where were all these assassination attempts coming from? The inside. Now, Yanko Enim, we are doing history. And these are facts. Now, Sa Uko Enim Kakra, we have already read the Ametewee. Now, make sure the 7 assassination attempts on Kwame Nkrumah's life. In 1964, another one happened. Yeah, can't see end the history, so you understand what is happening today. You understand how the plane, helicopter, and crashing, and you understand. You will understand after the crash of the helicopter why some people are doing what they are doing. You will understand. Now, in 1964, the convoy Sabotage, and you see another assassination attempt on Kwame Nkrumah's life. Yeah, it shows we do a lot of work before we come on this platform. And you're ready to lie to anyone. We are ready to let the people know the truth and why the NPP needs to stay in opposition for 42 years. Now, this is what happened. Later that year, intelligence reports warned of sabotage to Nkrumah's presidential convoy. A planned explosion or mechanical failure was narrowly avoided thanks to last-minute inspection. Though details were never fully disclosed, it added to the growing sense that danger lurked in every corner, even on the road. In 1964, Kwame Nkrumah car Ochi, the people tempered with it. But because Nkrumah always had luck like John Mahama, because Nkrumah luck ribbon or pono hokakrama John Mahama no, last minute they inspected the vehicles, the convoy, and they realized that some people had tempered with Nkrumah's machine. The same way John Mahama at the last minute made the souls of these men, the 8 men who died in this helicopter crash, may their souls rest in peace. The same way at the last minute, Onyankopon na obo Kwame Nkrumah ho ban. And I say this with all the pain in my heart. The men were not supposed to die For some reason, the President of the Republic did not make this trip. The President, John Mahama, he didn't get on the helicopter. In 1964, Nkrumah got lucky. Last minute inspection. His convoy, Anoma planning to use in assassinating him, he didn't get on it. Now, no. In 1965, the poison rumor, and we all know now that Kwame Nkrumah was poisoned. Kwame Nkrumah, he was poisoned. And poison does not take effect today. It took effect gradually. And this was the effect of Sankofo Yadiomu. Finally, they got Nkrumah through poisoning. And this is the UP. And they're from MPP. No? These are the people. Because from the beginning, they said Nkrumah was a young man. Nkrumah sebi onyakani. Nkrumah nye ubia also be Ghana. So they tried every means to kill him. They never wanted Nkrumah. At a point, they said, this foolish boy from the UK, this foolish boy who studied in the US, what does he know? We brought him to be a secretary, Emma UP. JB Dankwamo and a Kofa Nkrumah by say Omeye or Chochro. Nkrumah ti omu meetings as here all taking notes no who say Omuya Omambofo. They are dangerous people. They want to kill this nation. So Kwame Nkrumah said, I'm staying away. I'm going to be a patriot to fight, to protect and liberate this my nation. That is the break off. Because secretary to meeting Biamu, he was listening to the plans. What these people wanted to do. JB Dankwa, Buzia, and Omomaka. So Nkrumah said, let me step away. I can't be part of this. You people want to sell this nation. Team, stay with me. So, we should not. Team, right now, Mr. P, right now, you want me to do it right now? If you want me to do it right now, let me know, team. Give me the green light if you want me to do that right now. So, in 65, we call that the, should I do it right now? Or after 65, Mr. P? After 65 or before 65? All right. In 1965, thank you very much, team. In 1965, as Nkrumah's health fluctuated, rumors swelled of a poisoning attempt, possibly through food or drink. No official confirmation ever came, but his sudden illness and increased isolation fueled speculation. Whether real or imagined, the fear was enough to change his habits and tighten his cycle. In 1965, Nkrumah went into isolation. It's enough. In 1965, they poisoned Nkrumah. He started feeling the effect of the poison. He started falling sick. The presidency, they tried to cover it up. Nkrumah didn't want to show weakness. He wanted the nation to understand that you cannot just be weak. So Nkrumah started isolating himself. This is the MPP. History is repeating itself. And I'll show you why the MPP, their inner monkey, is dangerous.
Ghana, Ghana, Abakosama. President Kufuor to call retirement. But if the Mr. Kesiri who said, a free side Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, the new president be our Ghana China and Abdul Kufuor. Messi a free 1957. Bekane, mo form of Kwame Nkrumah no, mo form of Kwame Nkrumah no, mo form of Messi a free 1957. Bekane, mo form of Kwame Nkrumah no, mo form of Obia di wa ba di mampanya wa bo Ghana ho ban e di Ghana kola nim China na do dankwa Akufuado me form of Kwame Nkrumah no mo form of Obia di wa ba di mampanya wa bo Ghana ho ban e di Ghana kola nim China na do dankwa Akufuado me Ghana me ka de say ya di jawa ne di oswa Ghana ha Ghana Abakosama. President Kufuor to call retirement. But if the Mr. Kesiri who say a free say Ghana from 1957. Ebe kane yenya president bi a wabua Ghana China na do Dankwa Kufuor. Messi a free 1957. Bakane mo form Kwame Nkrumah no mo form Messi a free 1957. Bakane mo form Kwame Nkrumah no mo form
This is the NPP. Omujina Kumasi rally. And they told Ghana for say, upon all that Kwame Nkrumah has done, Omo University a ewo asantimemu eye Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Nyoma omunitia, they denigrated Nkrumah because of power. The inner monkey is dangerous. The NPP inner monkey is dangerous. And it's something that runs through their blood. They are dangerous. And we cannot underestimate them. My child, 7 times these people wanted to murder Nkrumah. And it's so easy. You see the way they killed JB Dankwa, Edu. You saw the way they killed John Kuma. You saw the way they basically kill their own and laugh about it. That is the tendency. That is the blood that runs through them. Normally, when they are in opposition, they become more daring and more treacherous. Now, let's see how history is repeating itself. If in 1965, let's run through time. They made 2016. Nana Addo Dankwa and the MPP, UPSF4, they needed power from the NDC. They had tried everything. J.J. Rawlings, they tried to assassinate J.J. Rawlings. Go and read the history. So many times, about 3 times, they tried to kill J.J. Rawlings. Fast forward to 2016, they needed the power. NPP wanted the power. The same tactics the UP people used, their forefathers used, the same strategy. We were in Ghana in 2016. This is what we saw. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we were in Ghana. John Mahama was president. They invited mercenaries to Ghana. People who train to kill. People who are hired to kill. 2016, the NPP needed power. The UP tradition that gave birth to the NPP. They wanted power. Mahamudu Bawumia, Kennedy Japan, Nana Akufo-Addo, the NPP, they needed that power. They wanted to take it by force. So they brought in mercenaries in 2016. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo sat on national television and said he has no problems. Addo Dankwa justifies importing mercenaries into Ghana. Nana Akufo-Addo tonight TV so can say, yes, I'm going to mercenaries to buy to do what? It is the inner monkey. It is what their forefathers did. They can never move away from it. And that is how they operate. It is the same tactics, the same modus operandi, the same blueprint, and that is what they are doing today. We should not underestimate the NPP. And J.J. Rawlings said it. They changed their names. They are the same people with the same character. When they are out of power, they will do anything for power. And I'm showing you how history has gotten us here today. How we are not safe. How we are not supposed to allow what we call the NPP to get close to power as a nation. It will save you. It will save your forefathers, your grandchildren. It will save my grandchildren. And I'm showing you gradually, make sure how dangerous the NPP is and how history is repeating itself. And it's a helicopter crash. So today, the NPP are jubilating. In 2016, they needed that power. So they brought in killers. Akufo-Addo sat on TV and said, yes, there's nothing wrong with it. He said there was nothing wrong with it. Why? If I import mercenaries, omo training killers, omo sasuya killers, no maba, no mbedi, what is the big deal? So that time John Mahama was president. Refi, I'm making you understand how dangerous and make sure history repeating itself today. You know what's dangerous? What is dangerous is they have not changed. Recently, we are hurt because we have lost gallant men, patriots who were going to work for us. 8 men, they died. They died. The country came to a standstill. We were shattered. The country grew cold. It was dark and gloomy. Pain ran through the vein of Ghana. People were asking questions. We were confused for a moment. But the NPP, the UPNPP, what were they doing? What were they saying? Were they still using a 442 formation, the indirect way of trying to take over power, assassinating presidents, making sure they can make their way? Yet Nkrumah as some way see. Now, we saw these young people sit on national television and Ametewee on social media. They said the president John Mahama should have been killed in the helicopter crash. President ni yiriniti no mu gu bottom na helicopter na eto form no nim military phobia no di djuma helicopter ne ko form from the history amaka catch obesin there no. Do you doubt it? 50-50. You doubt it, but you don't doubt it, right? You are still asking yourself, is it that MPP ne shake? What are the evidence? Because in the past, it has always been an indirect hit. It has always been an indirect way of assassinating presidents. It has always been an indirect way of doing bad things. But I'm asking you today, in Korea social media, these are NPP card-bearing members. These are people in the middle of our pain. They were on social media say, President na no muhiano, John Mahama na no peso bukuno. Omni soldier for they knew what was going to happen. But we are almost trying to no much show more bottom, and that will give them peace. Do you believe it? Do you believe the NPP could be behind us? It's tough for you to believe now, right? It's tough for you to believe because where is the connection? We are all hurt. We are all mourning. Where is the connection? These people speaking, what shows that what they are saying, the leadership or the NPP as a political party. But let me do something. I'm going to take you back to 2020 before I come to 2025. In 2020, a member of the NPP sat on national television and said he's going to ban who? The former president, who is now the president, John Dramani Mahama. This is a card-bearing member. Kennedy in Japan.
That guy is an idiot. Mahama, we want to tell you who to change hopes. Said we are going to go fear now to you. You cannot go and burn somebody's stores 14. Now the ofu say will go scot-free. Mahama, Esiedun Ketia, Akamba, Baba Jama, Munjeniye will burn your houses too. Yes. If it continues like that, Mahama, now we cannot allow these things to go on in this. Munjeniye will burn your houses too. Yes. If it continues like that, Mahama, now we cannot allow these things to go on in this country. Yes. If it continues like that, Mahama, now we cannot allow these things to go on in this country. Yes. If it continues like that, Mahama, now we cannot allow these things to go. Yes. If it continues like that, Mahama, now we cannot allow these things to go on in this country. When we were shot, Baku 14.
So, there's also a senior member of the NPP, Kennedy Japan. Alternative, so they will ban Mahama. Now, these are very serious statements. And it's coming from the same political party leadership. UP4 now, I've told you their history. The Oma Baba Bedruha. Bedruha 2016. They brought in mercenaries. Bedruha 2020, right after election 2020. Canada Japan National Television. You burn Mahama alive. And Chebia, a whole helicopter carrying 8 gallant men, patriots, soldier for whom, politicians, they all died. The NPP, as a political party, they were jubilating. They were on social media with their boys and girls. Now, on a normal day, Senkofo we akansem na ya chiomwa. What are we supposed to do? Every single person who cares about this country and wants the rule of law to work and wants to make sure that we set good examples moving forward, nobody will associate themselves with such people. Nobody, no right-thinking Ghanaian BNY or be associating with such people, because these are NPP foot soldiers who made it clear, say, you be coup president, ye nim hubi, ye nim send a helicopter no crack top form, na ye be chanity di omo bottom. So, as a leader of a party or a political party, automatically that day you release a letter and disassociate yourself. That is what a political party that stands for the people will do. But in 2025, we saw this young man after they were picked up. We saw the potential flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. After the nation was angry, before Ashe Ekrolumuma, Emrantia way Akasa Omeso president titi, Omuku president, Omu NPP for they were jubilating on social media. Mahamudu Bawumia invited these criminals to his office and brought in the media and told the world that these are our heroes. Gave them a gallant reception. Hugged them and told them they have done a great job. This is a guy whose father was in the circle of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when they tried 7 times to assassinate Nkrumah. This is the same Mahamudu Bawumia. Today, he brought this young man who said they have to kill John Mahama. They have to kill his wife. They have to assassinate them. They have connection in the military. Mahamudu Bawumia wants to lead Ghana. The same way Kennedy Japan wants to lead Ghana. The NPP as a political party, they brought this boy, they gave him a gallant reception. Bawumia told them to bring him because he has done well. And showcased this on national television. Told the world, these are the people we want. Where when I pay, where when I am fair say, we are associate here. Some of the partner say MPP neba to me. These are the kind of young men that we need. Because the message Bawumia is sending to any single young man in Ghana is that when you plan to kill the president, it is right. This is the message Mahamudu Bawumia is sending. Until today, his opponent, Kennedy Japan, a young man on the Kennedy Japan, Chibeka said, no. Now, sir, you say, I'm bound to tell me a plan is on the president. Now, Bawumia, you are too now. And Bawumia, I command the bill. Tata, a young man to rise up. No, yes, sir. Now, Kennedy Sukoko Bailey now. Who is going to speak? I'm asking. Do you know the international implication of this? This is a guy who wants to be president. Do you know the international implication? Do you know what this means? Do you understand? Do you understand what this thing means? Internationally. This is a boy who sat on social media to say they plan to kill the president of the Republic of Ghana, and a potential flag bearer brings this boy in with all the flamboyance and all the cameras to say, this is my beloved son. Do you know the implication? Do you know the message the MPP is sending? But I have taken you back. I've told you the history. Are you surprised today? Now, when I ask you the question, do you think the NPP is behind the plane crash or the helicopter crash? When I ask you right now, what answer are you going to give me? Do you believe that they know something about this? Do you believe it? Say, omo and a helicopter na ekoto from Nichi. And from what I have told you and what you are seeing, do you believe it's NPP in a shake? I'm asking you. Because you know the funny thing? He basically gave these criminals a green light to go back and do damage. Because what they plan to do, they could not execute it. So he is blessing them again to go back. This is the MPP. And I won't say just Baumia, this is the MPP. What they represent. But the disheartening thing, the reason why they are being funded by the MPP, the hierarchy, is because Ametewee ekodi saboni anamuso meku president nyame budin wafofie no. This boy went on radio to tell the whole world to say, oh, Osha selves no na Bawumia is the one making sure he's comfortable. Ametewee na oti social media ne MPP for eka say omeku president yire. Omo president gu bottom play na ekoto form no they knew because omni soldier for omnim de ekono Ametewee police chi no osabetena radio so ka kire Ghana say Mahamudu Bawumia time na ono other cells na Ghana for we are shocked Bawumia called him in jail in cells and told them to give him a special place to sleep.
Kran ba ko bae ema of frame sas ye me san begina anim ama doctor ne kasae okay na wo kwa keke na omo da inside na te se Dr. Bawumia na ye kasa no omo se baby aye da no omo sere aye mbeda VIP
e wo se ho no eti se ho na mo da no Dr. Bawumia free Emma mon obi phone so
obi fi abontin ka say doctor person
so le kasa Emma mon ne ko ne kasa
ti ni para de atola
no ka good to see you we the kasa the doctor had you are not seeing me Emma ne kasa
ya me ansani na me aje nkwani say Obama
pampa
ya the doctor kasa no say Nkrumah say politics there sa na te oyi ama ogina ya chi nsuo mu awiamu no say ya bose up to Monday there. Up to Monday, dear. Monday name bro so da.
Eddie Amobefi.
Eddie Amobefi enti. Peninya kasa up to Monday pe. The papa ye bi ablen. I just say mo promote back on. Mo Monday ye kofi wa. One say Obama.
Pampa.
Ya the doctor kasa no say Nkrumah say politics there.
Emma ne kasa
ya me ansani na me aje nkwani say Obama
pampa
ya the doctor kasa no say Nkrumah say politics there sa na te oyi ama ogina ya chi nsuo mu awiamu no say ya bose up to Monday there. Up to Monday dear. Monday name bro so da.
Eddie Amobefi.
Eddie Amobefi enti. Peninya kasa up to Monday pe.
E wa
the papa ye bi ablen. I just say mo promote back on. Mo Monday ye kofi.
Emma ne kasa
ya me ansani na me aje nkwani say Obama
pampa
ya the doctor kasa no say Nkrumah say politics there sa na te oyi ama ogina ya chi nsuo mu awiamu no say ya bose up to Monday there. Up to Monday dear. Monday name bro so da.
Eddie Amobefi.
Eddie Amobefi enti. Peninya kasa up to Monday pe. E wa the papa ye bi ablen. I just say mo promote back on. Mo Monday ye kofi wa.
Emma ne kasa
ya me ansani na me aje nkwani say Obama
pampa
ya the doctor kasa no say Nkrumah say politics there sa na te oyi ama ogina ya chi nsuo mu awiamu no say ya bose up to Monday there. Up to Monday dear. Monday name bro so da.
Eddie Amobefi.
Eddie Amobefi enti. Peninya kasa as up to Monday pe. E wa papa yem. Omo de papa ye bia blen. E ka ja se mo promote tobacco.
Na su
mo ko bae e ma of frame ma so ye me san begina anim. Ama doctor ne ye kasa ye.
Okay.
E wo kwa keke na omo da inside na te se Dr. Baumia na ye kasa no omo se baby aye da no. Omo sere aye mbeda vin happy.
Hey, I was so hollow. It's so one of Modano. Dr. Bamia Frey. And my mother will be phone
or be fair bonting. Doctor,
that's why the Bocassa. I'm one of the corner in Casai.
Nipara, they are 2 hours.
Look, good to see you. When the doctor had you are not seeing me. I'm on the Kasai.
I'm saying, may I just Kwame say Obama.
Pampa.
You're the doctor Kasai, no say Nkrumah say politics dear. Sanity. Oyama, Ojinachi in Sumu, a Riamu. No say a boss up to Monday, dear. Up to Monday, dear. Monday name, bro, so da.
Eddie Amobefi.
Eddie Amobefi. Peninya Casas up to Monday, pet. The papa ye bia blen. I just say mo promote tobacco.
This is sad. This is sad. Se ba o mi afre no. O catch them say ewiemu insuomo. He supports them what they did. The omo ye no support omo. MPP ta omo chi. And they will find money to come and bail them. Or show mo Monday sikebi omenye bi ometam as a party. And he as Baumia to bail them at the expense of 8 men who died. 8 men. There were Muslims in there. Nkrumah at the expense of 8 men. They are entertaining this. Mahmoud Baumia is placing calls, telling these people, these criminals, through them nipa 8 Mahmoud Baumia say, Ewiemo in Sumo, he will protect them. He's happy. The NPP as a political party, they came together, they went to the police headquarters, they demonstrated. At the end of much assassins, 8 men at their expense. 8 gallant men. 8 men. These men, they died. They died for nothing. They killed these people. They sat on social media. They were so excited. Bawumia called them and told them, say, Ewiemu, Insuomo, Obe protect you. They should not worry. Thank you very much for being part of tonight's show. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. There's only one thing we have to do as a people. Let's keep the NPP away from power. They are a dangerous group. They kill, they destroy, they laugh about it. We have to be wise. We have to believe in Ghana. We have to believe in the Nkrumah philosophy. We have to believe in us. The NPP is a killing machine. It's a dangerous political party. Whatever comes out of it is a disease. We should be smart as a people. We should protect our nation. We should stand firm. We should be resolute. They don't think positive. The NPP as a political party is a curse on this nation. The young people coming up, your future, the democracy you are enjoying today in Ghana is because people like us, people like John Mahama, the NDC, they have protected your democracy. The NPP, since its inception, they have always been against the will of the people. Mama yenjene Ghana home. Ghana ne ohono. Mama yembon ho ban. Mama yen making sure say party friend MPP omumba power for the next 42 years. They kill, they destroy. Most importantly, you're very careful about them. They come out crying with us, but they jubilate behind the scenes. They still have more daring things to do. They are planning damage. They are planning to take over. We should be watchful. We should be careful. We should be very, very vigilant as a people. We are doing our best to protect Ghana. We are doing our best to protect our democracy. It's up to you to make sure you keep the NDC in power. I am a messenger. You are a messenger. We are all messengers, irrespective of our political affiliation and religious affiliation. The Bible or the Quran, we still are Ghanaians. We need to stick together and make sure the truth is spoken. Keep the NPP away from power. God bless you. God bless Ghana. God bless the United States of America. God bless us. Have a wonderful night. Cheers and good night. Gigim.